What's going on, Exiles? I hope you've been enjoying the league so far. I know there's still a few of you out there playing, and I've got a special treat for you today. If that's you, there's been a growing demand for me to share my map rolling strategy. So, I'm going to do just that for you today. Recently, did yet another Jungle Valley strategy. It was highly lucrative. It was done off stream, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. But long story short, I walked away with 60 fresh Jungle Valley maps, and you can verify that here. There was no 8-mod corrupted sextant involved for these maps, so they are here and they've been completely cleaned. Full disclosure, I did pull them out of my dump tab, put them straight in here, and I did go ahead and unidentify the ones that, were magic or rare and clean them up. And by clean them up, I mean Orb of Scouring. So there was technically preliminary process before this video took place, but I figured I would start it right here and show you how I like to go about doing this. I go ahead and get some Val Orbs and some Exalted Orbs in place. I get plenty of Orbs of Alchemy and Scouring. This may or may not even be enough, probably, given how I plan to roll these. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is, of course, I need to quality them up, because regardless of what kind of map I want to end up with, I'm definitely going to want to have 20% quality. Now, that is kind of the golden question, isn't it? What kind of map do I want to have? And the truth is, it's actually a few different categories of maps. Of course, the ever so high pack size 8-mod corrupted map would probably be the one I want to see the most, but there are a few alternatives here that I can kind of, shall we say, save some money on the back end by being a little bit extra intelligent with how I'm rolling the maps, and especially if there are particular types of maps I want to get besides 8-mod corrupted. For example, some high pack size, high quantity 2B deli orbed maps could be really nice with this strategy. So we're almost done with this. I figured I'd go ahead and show you even this tedious process, because it is part of rolling the maps. You can hold shift and left click these all the way up. It is smart to go ahead and click 20 so you can actually see and verify that you got them all there. Next process, of course, we're going to make them rare. So I go ahead and do this, and once again, shift clicking, I went ahead and typed rare in there to make sure I missed them. You can see that if I just go through super fast like this, not going to see it. And I know it kind of looks like I'm trying to show you how to efficiently do this. To be honest with you guys, I'm not crazy efficient when it comes to rolling the maps. It's not the time that I care to be crazy efficient. But at any rate, showing you how to do it anyway. So they're all rare and they all have different kind of rolls on them. So how do we kind of check to see what we want? Well, the first test I want to check is for rare monsters. So I know that out of 60 maps, probably a few of these, they're going to have rare monsters on them. Now, there are a few different things I might do with this depending on what I'm in the mood to farm next. So, for example, if I want to farm maps with, let's see, sextants are not consumed on use. This would be a pretty decent candidate to use that with. If I want to farm deli orb maps and I really want to collect a ton of maps, that would be wise as well. Now, of course, I don't particularly want to settle for just 4 modded maps. So I'm kind of going to show you what I do, a sort of give and take what I might do. So I have now identified the ones that have 5 or 6 modifiers. The rest of these have 4. And to be honest, most of the maps are going to spawn with 4. I'm 90% sure they have 4. So if I really wanted a bunch of increased monsters, rare monsters, I would take those there. Now, there's been a little bit of a rumor that you want to have 25% increased rare monsters, so that is another way to prioritize it, so we could do it that way instead. I'm not really familiar with why you would necessarily have to have a high roll on increased monsters. You can see some of these are pretty bad, but we could alternatively do it this way and take the ones that have very high rolls just for fun. The others are very low. And what am I going to do with this? Well, I'm going to slam them twice. I'm going to make them high value. Now, these maps are extremely high value. And yes, I did just double slam 2 Exalted Orbs in them, making them cost each 40 Chaos additional. But again, if you really wanted to have those maps, if you really wanted to do, I don't know, 80% skittering deli orb, crazy juicing levels, you would absolutely go about doing that. So I have done that in the past, and it's not really something I'm looking to do in the immediate future, but especially, you know, this one too, I would probably keep. I mean, this is 6 modded already. It doesn't even need slammed. Maybe the 5 I would go ahead and keep and slam it once, just because it's only half the cost. So here's how I can kind of walk away with 4 premium maps that we haven't really even touched with a Valorb yet, and they already kind of passed the test. Now, in the past, I have also checked for Beyond maps, and you could do this as well. We have a 5 modded Beyond map, another 5 modded Beyond map. This is not really something I'm running anymore. I tend to just run the Beyond Sexton, and there's not really any substitutes there, but in theory, you could, or it would be a decent idea to at least check for 5 or 6 modded Beyond maps already and do something with them. For the sake of this video, because it's not really something I'm checking for recently, I'm not even going to bother with it. So the next thing is the tricky part. So we're going to refer down to a website here. This is a Path of Exile regex. It can allow you to pull up a string that is going to properly check what you want to have here. And you can see that it has a pack size of at least 28. Now, why did I pick 28? It's kind of arbitrary. Early on in the league, when money was a little tighter, I stuck with 25. For the record, that's about 85% increased quantity with the chiseling. More recently, I've been doing 28. I think that's 94% plus quantity. Or you could even do 30. If you're going for the big games, this is going to hide almost all the maps. And you can see, let's actually just go ahead and see. This should be 100% plus quantity. And wow, it's only showing the ones that I actually slammed. So that's a bad sign. Let's go ahead and do this, because normally these days, I kind of like this string right here. This one typically sees the ones I need to see. And, I see I have a little bit of a problem here. I accidentally had that showing. So, correction. There perhaps were some maps there. Okay. So this is, okay. So 98% or higher. You can see there. I am going to settle for 28% or higher, and we're going to pull these off to the side. I think I'll set these up down here like this. Strap in tight. You know, I'm going to show you the whole process so you can see it. And we already have some 6. These are all going to be 6 modded. I think they're all 6 modded. And yeah, they are. Now, I could go ahead and find 8, some other 5 modded ones, maybe Exalt Slam it, but probably not worth it. Instead, at this point, we are ready for a fresh batch. And, you know, I mean, I might clean it up and do this. Not really that important. But I'm going to search for normal maps here, because I'm just going to go ahead and clean them all up. Right? And if I am looking to get some of these nice, cleaner, uncorrupted maps, I will go ahead and do that. Now, if I don't care about getting any of those, guess what I would do? I would just corrupt them all right off the bat. And of course, I'm going to kind of show you how that looks. And so once again, we can kind of go back through with these rare. And, you know, I might do this all the way down to the last map. I've never really done it all the way down to the last map, but for some reason, if I'm desperately trying to collect one of these 2 categories of maps, you know, I might do it. But here we go again. We'll type in Rare Monster. And we can see we got some 4 modded maps. Oh, this is a better maps. 5 mods. Let's see. This one is also 5 mods. That's going to be pretty high, actually, in the end. You can see. And that's 4 mods. So we go ahead and slam this right here. 110%. Hallelujah. That's nice. And then beyond, I'm not even going to check. I am just going to go ahead and put that other string back in. Maybe that's not the right one. Aha, it was not. See, I got more to show up because I was a little bit more lenient on what I was searching for. And you can see these are here. Okay, and I think we'll just go ahead and do it one more time. Just kind of showing you how I clean it up here. I like to keep it nice and clean. So one more time, 3rd time's a charm. I did, I guess, forget to check the rare monster ones that rolled really high, but I'm not really in the mood to find a whole bunch of those maps anyway, so yeah. Almost done here. This is the last time I'm gonna hit these all up with an alchemy orb. Rare monsters, here they are again. Okay, so I guess, you know, I'll check for the really high rolls. These are very high rolls, 28%, 29%, 28%. I don't really care about the map modifiers because I can just kind of roll with anything on this build, fortunately. 30% perfect roll, wow. 26% and 110%, that's one of the highest. Wow, 34% pack size on that. That's pretty crazy. So I'll go ahead and slam all of these, and you can see that some of them come out really bad, actually. Still, it's only 89%. But it has a very high rare roll, so that's nice. Even has like magic roll. So we got a few of these here. We got over 10 of them here. And last but not least, I think... Gosh, I feel like... I'm going to make sure that's right. Okay, that looks to be right. So there we go. And once again, everything that's left is just unworthy, I guess you could say. Not really very good. Okay, yeah, something like that. Now, these are all chiseled, and they're all rare, and I'm tired of continuing to do this. So at this point, quite often, again, even if I even cared about getting these in the first place, I'm just going to go ahead and corrupt every single one of these. Oh, I forgot to... do one thing. So here we can verify that they actually got corrupted. Now, evidently there's like a 1 in 5 chance of this Val Orb slamming it into 8-mod corrupted rare. There's also like a 1 in 5 chance of it going unidentified. I am also going to corrupt these because what I'm hoping to find with these, again, if I'm not going to craft it with, say, you know, Sexton isn't consumed for some reason, I'm hoping that these turn unidentified or potentially just stay the same. So if they turn unidentified, that would be great, right? Because then I know they are very premium. These are super premium maps here. They're very high pack size, unidentified. They're going to go great paired with the pack size Sexton. So it'll be 25% additional pack size if elevated or 20% unelevated. And quite often I'm running types of maps that I kind of have an extra Sexton slot anyway. So this makes these really good, really nice and premium. And not a bad idea to go about trying to collect some maps like this, especially if you're trying to collect maps over here. Now, these maps here on the right, I'm not going to corrupt because they are to be essentially enchanted with something. Now, what about these maps here? Of course, 1 in 5 of them will turn out to be pretty good anyway. I think once again, maybe I can hit these with 25 or 28 plus pack size. And you can see the nice thing about doing it this way is a lot of these are still... Look at this. A lot of these are still pretty good. Now, some of them are 8-mod corrupted now, and some of them just stayed the same. Like, this is still 29%, and maybe that's good enough, right? Maybe that's good enough for you to run in some sort of cheap strategy. But I tell you what's not good enough is this map right here. That's not really good enough. So I don't really care about that. I'm going to go ahead and, I guess, you know, follow through with everything here, and we're just going to take all this stuff because we're done slamming any maps. Just gonna put all this stuff back into... It looks like I had more than enough materials here. Put this all back into the stash. Yep, okay. Floating a lot of exalted orbs. And one of the nice things about doing God Touch farming is you float a lot of exalted orbs. Okay, and then these I will save back for later. I'll put them somewhere in some specific spot in my stash so I know I keep them all intact. This is everything I'm going to trash, right? So unidentified over here on the left, I don't care about, right? I should have probably pulled this Val Temple map out, however. So that, or no, that's not going to go there. Somebody's been buying these off me for like 9 chaos a piece once I get a bulk up, so figure I keep those here. So after this point, you know, if you want to be extremely picky and get like 8-mod corrupted maps only, or pretty much 8-mod corrupted maps only, you could do this. You could go all the way up to like 34% pack size. I've never seen an 8-mod corrupt map have less than 34% pack size, I think. But even some of these 6-mod or 6-modded corrupted maps could potentially fall under this umbrella here. But you can see like every single one of these over here is really good. Yeah. So let's say, for example, that I only wanted like the super premium maps out of this. It looks like I got pretty lucky actually with these results. So all of this is trash over here. You know, I could run some of them, but I'm just gonna trash them, and I don't really know what to do with them other than just vendor them. It's kind of annoying. I wish I could just delete them out of existence really easily. Like, I don't even have enough space for all of this stuff, so just, you know, something. Get it out of here. And that's it, right? So these are all of the AMOD corrupted maps that I have are going to be ran with some sort of Jungle Valley God Touch farming strat. These are going to be ran with the unidentified. Maybe I actually have that sextant. I do have. Okay, so this is the sextant that I was referring to. 25% increased pack size in your unidentified maps. A special sextant that you use for this specific map roll. And then these, of course, you know, gonna go crazy on the, you know, skittering delirium orbs. We can go down here and do some sort of strategy where enchant non-unique map with map doesn't consume sextant charges. You could do some crazy high juicing, you know, elevated sextant +2 abyss on the map, you know, and all kinds of stuff as a potential strategy there, right? So that's it. That concludes the video. That was kind of the long-winded version of how I roll my maps. Of course, that doesn't cover how I find my maps. In the case that I'm using the 8 mod corrupted sextant, which is right here. This is actually another video I'm about to make right around the corner, so that one will also be coming your way. Stay tuned. In the meantime, I will see you in the Jungle Valley, I suppose. Bye for now.